Hey, everybody. My name's Terrence Parker, and I'm looking forward to presenting to you some installer training material. Today, we're going to be focusing on our new 30K and 60K 208 inverters. And we're getting a lot of requests for 240 high leg delta installations. And we'd like to make sure that you guys know how to put this together and feel comfortable with this interconnect. Today, I'm joined by my Director of Delivery and Service, Eddie De La Torre. Hey, Eddie, how are you doing? And
Hey,
I'm
how's it
your
going?
friendly friend. Good to have you with us. I'm your friendly neighborhood application engineering manager here, doing a lot of compliance work, and look forward to bringing this forward to you. We're going to be talking a little bit about some new products that we have and how maybe those can really help you land some new customers going forward in 2025. It's that flexible utility interconnection that we'll be focusing on today. Indeed, we'll be taking a look at our 30 kilowatt and 60 kilowatt 208 inverters and their capability to be connected to 240 high leg delta connections. It's really, like I say, kind of a part of this whole flexibility piece that Solis brings to you. And we're expanding these product lines going out for larger commercial products. So let's take a look. We have what we think are opportunities for you using these products. We have a full line, of course, going from 3.6 all the way out to 350 kilowatt now, and wide variety of output voltages ranging from 800 at the high side through 600 and, of course, 480. But it's really that 208 and 240 connections that I think we'll be seeing, that we'll be talking quite a bit about today, and I think that you'll be seeing quite a bit of as we go forward. So let's get into it. Solis 208 VAC output. These are 1,000 volt inverters. You can see that we have the S6 family. This is the 30K. You can see the AC switch and a removable AC wire box there on the side, where the new 60K low voltage 208 voltage product has that switch similar to you'd see on a like one of our 75 or 100K products. And so both of these inverters support 240 high leg delta. We'll be talking in detail about that. And of course, they also have the flexibility to use whatever communication platform you like, whether you like our Solis Cloud. It's free. We encourage you to use that. But if you need to use Cashlin or Also Energy or something, we can provide that Modbus map to so you can map that particular solution to our inverters. So. Array level rapid shutdown is available with a wide variety of racking partners that we have. And there's of course, we can also do module level racking. We're PVRSS certified with both Tygo and APS and others. And so a lot of flexibility when it comes to rapid shutdown as well. Let's focus a little bit on this type of high leg solution. And it's really, when you have no high leg, you can use all three lines for your 120 volt loads. And you've only got 208 for your three phase, but that's usually enough for, let's say, an air conditioning load. And of course, all your 120 loads in an office or something like that. That sort of a standard 208 installation works quite well for a small office or small manufacturing operations. But really, some of these smaller operations, even the smaller manufacturing operations, can really take advantage of maybe a Delta system, and that can be corner grounded and no 120 at all. But should you want to, you could quarter ground a midpoint on one of the phases there, and that leaves you with one high leg and two 120 legs. And that might be preferred if some of those 120 loads are minimal and you've got a lot of 240 load present. And Eddie and our team will get a little bit further into that. So let's continue here. I just want to make sure that everybody kind of maybe gets a first look here at our new hybrids that we're introducing into the small commercial market. Indeed, the new S6 Energy Hybrid, this new three-phase product, a 30K, can do 208 interconnections along with a DC coupled battery. And of course, that 30K is also capable of 240 high leg installs. So super flexible, not only on grid tie, but also on this new hybrid for small commercial installations. The 40, 50, and 60K are all 480 output inverters. But yeah, with this new storage capability for commercial buildings, they can really ensure that let's say their security systems and data systems are backed up, no problem. And really they can use that battery to optimize their daily electrical demand and suppressing peaks and that sort of thing. It's a little different kind of sale than you would be with homeowners who are looking for residential storage to provide security and resiliency. With a business owner, you really are looking at the capabilities during the day. And so let's talk a little bit in detail about how you're going to be installing these new three-phase inverters for 240 installations. Eddie, could you help me out here? Thanks.
Absolutely. All right, so we're looking at the Solis S6 inverter. It can handle a 240 volt high leg delta connection, but this setup needs some extra care. See the thick wire on the AC input? That's the line 2 or B phase. This is where you connect the high side. Now, crucially, do not connect the neutral wire in a high leg delta setup. This will mess up your readings. If the neutral wire is already there, disconnect it and remove it from the wire box. If you can't remove it, make absolute sure that it's taped up for insulation and tucked away safely. Also, another recommendation we have is if you already have the neutral there and it's not connected, it would be good to add a note into the wire box in case somebody else opens up the wire box and they see the extra wire and they don't land it.
Oh, that's a great idea, Eddie.
Yeah. Think of a high leg delta system as having two power sources in one. You get both 208 volts for your regular 120 volt circuits and 240 for bigger appliances, all from the same transformer. The Solis 30 and 60K inverters are flexible. They can work with either voltage. Just configure the settings to match what you need. Remember, the high leg, which is usually the B phase, carries a higher voltage, so handle it carefully. And critically, when connecting a Solis inverter in a high leg delta setup, make sure that the neutral wire is disconnected. If it is already there, remove it or ensure it's properly insulated and secured away from any other connection. Okay, before we connect anything, let's make sure your Solis inverter has the right software. You'll need at least HMI software version C701 and DSP software version 5906. The latest software works with both high leg and standard setups, so you're covered either way. The inverter is smart. It adjusts voltages based on the grid code you select. 208 volt code for standard connections and 240 volt code for high leg. The easiest way to perform this update is to connect your inverter to the Solis cloud. Once you have DC power to the inverter, we can push the update remotely before hooking up the AC side. This is because all Solis inverters receive control power from the DC, which is a great feature for the Solis products. If you have a bad internet, we can provide an update stick, but it's not ideal. If you need this, just contact Solis tech support. Once updated, select the 240 grid standard, which is UL240L in the settings.
That update stick just plugs right into the 4-pin port on the bottom of the inverters. Is that right, Eddie?
That is correct. Depending on which model you have, the standard product that we're selling right now has the 4-pin connector. The new hybrid 3-phase hybrid that you presented would have a USB connection. You will see that.
Thanks.
Okay, let's recap the key steps for a high leg delta connection. First, the software update. Connect the Solis cloud for updates via tech support or use the Solis update stick. Next, in the settings, choose the 240 grid standard, which is UL240L. Now the wiring. Connect the high side of line 2 or B phase, which is the thicker wire. And finally, and this is critical, double check that the neutral wire is disconnected. If it is, disconnect it and make sure it is safely insulated. Follow these steps and your Solis inverter will be safely configured for a high leg delta connection. Let's see, some common questions that we have. Here on the line, we have Sean, which is one of our leads for the three-phase product, and leading a lot of the questions and assistance with high leg installations. Sean, can you share some of the questions that you see?
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, one of the questions we see a lot is how do we get the software loaded onto the inverter?
Great question. We want to make sure your Solis inverter is running the latest and greatest software. There are two ways to do this. The first one is connecting to the Solis cloud. This is the preferred method, especially if you have a good internet connection at the installation site. Once you have DC, which provides control power, connected to the inverter, before you hook up your AC side, our tech support team can remotely push the software update to the inverter. The other way is using the update stick. If you're in an area with poor or no internet connectivity, we can provide you with an update stick and the correct software version. You'll need to manually upload the update into the inverters using the stick, and Solis Tech Support will walk you through this process. If you're unsure about either process, don't hesitate to reach out to Solis Tech Support for assistance.
All right, one more question for you. Why would someone use the 240 settings instead of the 280?
Great. This is about choosing the right voltage for your needs. 208 volts, this is the standard voltage for most homes and businesses. It powers your everyday 120 volt stuff like your lights and general appliances. For 208 volts, this is a higher voltage for powerful things like big AC units, EV chargers, or industrial machines. This also includes things such as your clothes dryer. So if your customer mostly needs 120 volt power, set the inverter to 208 volts. If they have a lot of power hungry equipment, then the option would be to switch to the 240 volt grid option. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Thanks, Eddie. That really was, I hope, easily understood review of how to configure this inverter for both for 208 and 240 grid interconnections. And really, by having an inverter with this kind of flexibility, we think we're showing you a way to save some time and money, lower your SKU count on your truck there with a single inverter that can do both connections. And so it's really about an inverter that follows the similar themes that we've been using in our inverters and components. So all of these products are backward compatible with the products you've been using in the past. And of course, I think the 60K shows how you can start to scale this product easily. If you've got businesses that are growing, or you've got a business that maybe requires 2 or 3, or maybe let's say 300 kilowatt of inverters, you can put 5 of those 60Ks on there quite easily. And using our ability to kind of daisy chain these inverters together with a simple Cat5 cable, you can have all of them communicating to the cloud via a single communication stick, either via cellular or Wi-Fi. So it's that flexibility in both installation, but also in being able to choose what kind of connections you want to make, what kind of communication you want to use, what kind of rapid shutdown that you want to use. You all have the opportunity to kind of customize that for that particular customer, and that's going to make them happy. If you can get right to what their needs are, if you can exactly hit their use case, that's going to make happy customers. That's going to give you that referral. And by remotely managing these systems via Solis Cloud, you've got an opportunity here to not only get margin, but also get new referrals for new customers with a great new product. And we look forward to working with you, making sure we offer a pre-design work and help in getting your projects set up, as well as post-service afterwards. So thank you, everybody, for your time. We want to present these to you as a way for you to unlock more business, for you to unlock more margin, and we hope that you saw something good today. Have a good day, everybody, and we look forward to you checking us out on one of our social web networks, or getting in contact with us directly via our sales group or our service group. And thanks, everyone. Appreciate the time. Have a good one.
Great. Thank you all.